You should do it as proper, like proper panorama style.
Yeah.
Where you're like super serious
What,
voiceover.
panorama like that?
Well, yeah, that too.
Oh, it's panoramic, sorry.
But no, but you got to do like a proper serious voiceover where you're like, I found this
In
person.
a world.
Just be like, I found this person selling fake games or copy games or whatever.
No.
Counterfeit goods.
Oh. Hello, Donald Mackerel from Donald Mackerel Gaming. Made a little bit of a video about my experience mentally of going to something like a gaming market. This is my experience physically of being at the gaming market, of what I picked up, the experience I had with other people. And let me tell you now, it was bang average. It wasn't a great experience, but it wasn't a bad experience. And I know that's sitting on the fence, but that's the way I'm going to play it, because I keep on upsetting people. But no, it started very much with the same as last year. Paying for early bird tickets and not... I know you're not going to get in bang on at 11 o'clock unless you've queued up at like blooming 10 o'clock in the morning. You're not going to get in for 11. Last year, they were putting your armbands on as you went through the door, so it took forever. This year, they have sped it up a bit. They were going around well before 11 o'clock, scanning people's tickets as they were queuing up and giving them armbands. It still took forever to get in. I think we were in the queue by about 20 to 11, and we didn't get inside the building until 20 past. So 40 minutes of queuing, like 20 minutes past the time you're meant to be there, and we got there before we were meant to be there. Not great, but what can you do about that? It was really popular this year. I think last year, it wasn't dead last year. Was it the first one last year, I think? So it wasn't dead, but this year it was definitely busier, and that showed inside as well. It was absolutely rammed. Like, as soon as you walked in, you just hit with a wave of BO. It was, oh my God. It was so bad. There was bits where I'm like, is it me? Jesus, it's like, no matter. And towards the end of it as well, I know I'm skipping forward a bit here, but towards the end, weed. Oh my God, use some bubble bath or something. You guys stink. Right, anyway. That's half the subscribership gone. But no, getting on to a serious matter though, it was really, really rammed. And to make it even worse, oh God, here's where, again, I'm going to annoy a lot of people. I would say over 50% of the stalls were just selling tat. And whether that be things like Funko Pops, Lego figures, posters, bloody plushies, all that sort of gut. And some of it wasn't even to do with gaming. It'd be like Garfield, Star Wars. Like, I understand it's geeky and gaming is geeky. Thanks for the insult. But I understand it's all that sort of stuff. We've come to a gaming market. We want to see games. So that meant that the stalls that were selling games were absolutely rammed. And I'm sure if you were 6 foot plus, that was fine. You could just peer over people. I'm a little tot. I'm 5'5". There was kids there as well. None of us could get near the front. I heard non-stop people complaining about how busy it is. And not only that, how rude some of the people were. They were just barging people out the way. You patiently wait for a little bit of a gap, and as you see somebody peel away, somebody would just put their arm in and push in front of you and get to the front. And again, I could understand if it was like every single stall had bargains. The vast majority were overpriced. There were a few, which I will be talking about, because I did buy some games from people. There were a few that were really, really good. And speaking to one of them, well, again, I'll mention it when I pick up the games. Speaking to one of them, they did say that they were one of the only stalls that just kept their shop prices. Whatever the prices are in the shop, put them there. Other people have market prices. So they just sort of look at it, go, right, we're going to stick a new label on this. It's going to be 20% extra. And you might be grumpy about that, but chatting to one of these people, they said it's £90 per table now. So if you've just got a little table, 90 quid. You've got 2 tables, and that's not much stock if you think about it. That's 180 quid. You've got to try and recoup that money. And on the top of that, they're getting £7 off all the early bird tickets. And I say, it was queued down the blooming road. I think, was it £5 or £3 for people coming in at 12? It's just, when you look at it, there's a lot of money coming through the door there. Not much is coming back towards the people. And this goes on the event organisers. I'm sorry, but there wasn't much in the way of food or drinks. There was just one bar tucked in the corner. Everything was overpriced yet again. over the road you got a McDonald's and Asda. Like, nobody was eating or drinking at the venue because it was just horrendously priced and not much choice. And also, it didn't look the best either. But anyway, that's some negatives. Let's move on to some positives. So I did get a few bargains. I managed to complete my £20 challenge because people do it at blooming CEX, don't they? And, yeah, it always makes like, what could I get for £10 at CEX? Load of tut. Well, I actually managed to get some stuff from there that I'm very, very happy with, if I'm honest with you. Some of it, I just genuinely thought I was just going to pick up absolute rubbish because it had to be, again, limit of £20. It had to be something I didn't already own. And the third rule was, you don't talk about Fight Club. No, that's the wrong one. The third rule was, like, I actually wanted it. I couldn't just be picking up stuff I didn't own, but thought was junk. So I actually did manage to get, for £20, 3 whole games. Because again, that brings me to just the prices. We did talk about it before. I'm sorry I'm flipping back and forth. It's just, I need to get it out of my head. So the prices, with the whole market prices, I understand that you need to put a little bit extra on, but there was a chap there selling Virtua Cop 2 on the Sega Saturn for £45, and he told me that that was a fair price, but he'd be willing to knock me £5 off. I mean, the disc wasn't anything special. The manual looked like a dog had had to go on it. It was... For a £12 game, I can understand paying £15, maybe £20 if it's mint. These weren't good quality. There was quite a few games like that. There was one game that had a massive ring scratch in it, and when it's like, I think again the guy wanted, I think it was 5 times the market value, and I was like, mate, you can't even sell that. Look at the state of that. And he went, that will still work. That's not the point. Jesus Christ. And again, have you tested it? You haven't said you've tested it. One of the stalls, it just shows you the type of people, well, not all of them. Again, I don't want to tar everybody with a brush. But there are people definitely now that are just going to these, they're buying bulk stock off eBay or whatever, and they're going to these gaming markets thinking that this is the next big fad, same as blooming Pokemon cards and all that. They're thinking this is the next big fad, we're going to milk it while we can, then move on to something else. They've got no love for retro gaming, and it just showed where one guy, he said, oh, what are you looking for? And I said, oh, a bit of everything really, but mainly I'm looking for Mega CD, or I'm looking for Sega Dreamcast or Sega Saturn. And he's like, oh, well, we've got the Superman game down there for the Mega CD. And I was like, all right, cool. I didn't realise there was a Superman game on the Mega CD. I was like, where is it? And he goes, down there. And it was just a Superman cartridge for the Sega Mega Drive. So I said, like, oh, well, that's not Mega CD, that's Mega Drive. And he went, yeah, it's the same thing. So, it's like, I mean, I've had issues before with a guy on YouTube called Tootie, mainly because he said anybody that puts a thumbnail on their videos and anybody that edits their videos is like scum, and it's like, oh, they're just scammers, just out to rip people off. I know your game. I fell out with him. He's got a stall there, and I was listening to him, and he's a very, very, very knowledgeable chap. You know, he knows his eggs, he knows everything. So when I was listening to him, I had a newfound respect for him. So although he might not like my content, I do like the fact that he's obviously an avid gamer. He knows a lot about games. He knows a lot about consoles. He knows a lot about a lot of things. And I was quite impressed just listening to him talking to people. So I was like, oh, fair enough. And when you're comparing that to somebody who thinks that the Mega Drive and the Mega CD are exactly the same, it's like, oh, God, I can't do that. There was another YouTuber there whose stall I avoided. But it was nice seeing Dodgy D-Pad go and mess all the stock up. But we'll move on to my £20 worth of games. And again, bear in mind, yes, there was a lot of tut there. So I'm not going to lie, I was looking at stuff and not just overpriced stuff. There was some bargains, I will admit there were some bargains. But it's not just overpriced stuff like I talked about before. Just loads of stuff where you go, what are you bringing this to a market for? Like Halo 3. Or blooming Virtua Tennis, and you go, genuinely, what do you think this is going to sell? And again, these are at inflated prices. You've just you've put a load of junk into tubs, and you're not going to sell them. So that confused me. That room could have been spent getting rid of some really, really useful games. I saw Godzilla on the PS4 for 175 quid, and I know you might balk at that. 175 quid for that isn't actually a bad price, and I'm sure if you'd have tried to haggle with the guy, he'd have moved down a bit, although many sellers wouldn't. But I'm sure you got it for like 150 quid. There was a PSVR 2 that tempted me for £200. Only thing was, I was like, I can't really trust something like that, because if it doesn't work, I've got nowhere to come back to. It's just a random guy on a stall. But I say there were some bargains there, just a lot of tat. So this is why, with what I've picked up, it might not be the greatest stuff in the world, but I do actually want all of it. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get into my £20 bundle. That was a lot of waffle, wasn't it? So my first game is a game that genuinely I've been after for a long, long time. And I don't know if this is a bargain or not, because I didn't do too much research. I'd given up on finding this, because every time I had found it previously, people wanted like 20, 25 quid for it. And I was like, bloody hell, what's going on there? So this one, I got for 4 quid. It is complete. It is in really good condition. It's tested. It's working. I've had to go. And you'll... After I've done this £20 bundle, I'll bring up another gripe. Loco Roco on the PSP, which... yeah, I've been after this for blooming ages. I've got Loco Roco 2, believe it or not. Could never find Loco Roco at a decent price. So for £4, oh, hang on, is that upside down? Yeah, for £4, I thought that was a hell of a bargain. So that's the start of me bundle, which was dead chuffed with. What's that? Sore Thumb Retro Games. Doesn't say where they're from, does it? Sore Thumb Retro Games. Nah, it doesn't say. It's got a mobile phone number. It's got a map on the back. Map on the back. Tucked within plastic bag, what they call them, a baggy they call it, which makes it sound like cocaine. But yeah, trapped inside a baggy, more on that later. This was one of the best stalls there, but I only bought one game because, again, I was after mainly Sega stuff, and they said, we've left like all the Saturn and Mega Drive and Dreamcast stuff at home. You know, nobody really comes for it. We've mainly gone for PS2, PS1, PS4, so basically PlayStation, and Switch was the other one they had quite a bit of. But they were absolutely fantastic. And this one, again, yes, it's in a baggie, which we will come to. They've got it listed. It's Games Temple in Leeds. Games Temple. So it's in a baggie, but they've got it listed at 8 quid. Manx TT, which I have been after for a while, and yet again, without going to CEX, I was finding horrendous prices. They did me that for 6 quid. So that was are they going to get? Probably going to get in trouble off the tax man. That was 6 quid cash. So they said they couldn't do it card again, because card you've got all charges and whatnot to pay and taxes. But they did it 6 quid cash, and it is absolute quality. It is complete. It is in really, really, really good condition, which yet again, a lot of the stalls weren't. All their stuff, I'm looking at it again, Games Temple Leeds, all of their stuff was in really good condition, and both the fella and the lady, I think it was his wife, that were there, they got a small stall from what it looks like in Leeds. They were lovely people. They were the ones that were telling me about the market prices, and they're like, we don't know why they do it, and we don't get why people come here and just seem to be showing off their wares but not interested in selling any of it. They said a lot of people do tend to go there. Oh, we've got a store in, I don't know, Skegness. It's like, oh, come to the stall and we'll do better prices. It's like, you're there. Bring your good stuff along, offer it at a decent price, and then maybe people will come to your stall. They're not going to make a separate trip just to come out just to see you and then pay over the odds, are they? But anyway, yeah, that was a great deal. Now, this one. We'll talk about the baggie with this one. So my eyes aren't the best. And so with a lot of sellers, I was going to them saying, excuse me, have you got any... I genuinely cannot see on your stall. I'm blind as a bat. Can you tell me if you've got any Mega Drive, Mega CD, Sega Saturn? And he said, like, mainly Sega Saturn I was asking for. And he said, yeah, he said, we've got some Saturn stuff here. And he just pointed at the back wall. And I was like, I said, can you tell me what you've got, please? And he said, like, we've got this, that, blah, 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 blah. And one of the games, I was like, how much is that? And he went, it's 10 quid, but it's in really, really, really good condition. And I was like, it's overpriced. I was like, would you drop it to 8? And he said, no. So I was like, right, if it's in very good condition, yeah, I'll probably pay a tenner for that. I was like, can I just check it out? And he said, like, yeah, sure. And what he did was opened it up and showed me the disc. And I was like, that is a really good disc. Fair play. I believe you. There's £10. Thank you very much. And he put it back in its blooming baggie and passed it across to me. And again, me being short-sighted and a trusting man, I just put that straight into my bag and went, that's absolutely brilliant. So it was Virtua Fighter 2, which again is a £6 to £8 game, which I paid £10 for. And as you can see there, I don't know, does it show up? Where it says, complete, manual wear, disc very good condition. He did not explain that to me. So I've paid nearly double the price for something where the manual is battered. So that was a bit dishonest, but that's the end of my 20 quid bundle. So I got Virtua Fighter 2, which is a bit meh. We've got Max TT for 6 quid, which is absolutely fantastic. And we've got Loco Roco for 4 quid, which I would say is the absolute bargain there. Very, very, very chuffed. So really happy with getting that for 20 quid, but it brings me on to blooming baggies. These things, I cannot stand them because, like, that's a nice easy one. A lot of them are super duper skin tight, and you get it out and you check everything, you go, oh great, and then you've got to put it back in the baggie. And some of the, like, again, when we went to the one stall who was absolutely blooming lovely, the chap and his wife, they were quite happy for me to get stuff out and have a snoop at it and like check the contents, and yeah, they were really cool with it. Some of the other people acted like you'd asked if you could urinate on their grandfather's ashes. It's like, all I'm asking to do is I want to check the quality of the stuff that I'm trying to buy off you. I've since found out from watching a few other people's videos and also talking to people at the gaming fair or gaming market that there's a lot of damaged stuff there. Again, I saw damaged stuff myself on the odd one that I could reach and check that weren't in blooming baggies. And I've got a feeling that this is what's happening now, that they sort of see the baggie as like, oh, well, it instills this like sense of confidence in buying these quality products from these stalls, where what we're doing is we're getting rid of our tut. Stop putting your stuff in baggies. I'm sure it's annoying for you to watch people pull stuff out, probably rip the bags, put them back in, mess about with them. I'm sure it's really annoying for you. I'm sure it's time consuming. I'm sure they cost a lot of money. You have no idea how annoying it is for us as buyers. The amount of times I looked at something, I asked if I could see it, and the guy was getting really, really iffy after about the third game. And I was like, do you know what? I'm not interested here. Like, everything's overpriced anyway. I'll just walk away. So that's my one. So yeah, Games Temple Leeds. Definitely go and check them out. They were lovely. The bad ones I'm not going to name. One of the bad ones, good God, again, I won't name it, but they were just selling overpriced tat, including, I think it was D on the Sega Saturn. They wanted 85 quid for it, and literally right next door to them was somebody selling it for £45. And you got, and it wasn't great condition, yet again. I was just thinking, is this factory sealed or something? No. But they also had bags full of literal rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Bits, like broken controllers, wires with frayed ends, and it said £2 per item, or six for £10. It's like, oh, congratulations. If you buy 6 of these lumps of tat, one of them is free. Thanks. So stuff like that I really didn't like. But I picked this up just, I don't know if it works, I haven't tried it yet, but for 2 quid I was like, it will do, and it'll help me with all my retro consoles. I've got this blooming thing, which is a SCART thingy, so I can plug 5 SCART cables into it, which now means my TV that's only got 1 SCART adapter, I can just plug that in there. I'm hoping that'll read. I'm hoping that'll work, because, oh, where are we? The last time I went to one of these, I bought that, which only holds 2, and it doesn't work. So for 2 quid, I took a punt. Might work, might not. We'll see. I won't test it by the time this video comes out, but we'll see in the future. I'm not holding out much hope, to be honest with you, because as I say, the majority of stuff in those boxes was smashed and terrible. Great. Anyway, we'll move on to. Oh, before we move on to the actual, I bought a lot more games. Before we move on to them, I want to say a massive thank you to Dodgy D-Pad, who Pixel Paul donated some stuff to the charity auction that we got coming up. Dodgy D-Pad has donated something rather special. I would say 8-Bit H has done his bit because he's fixed it for Dodgy D-Pad. But we have a blooming treat, and I am holding that for a separate video because I've got a feeling that is going to be the highlight I can't believe he's donated it. So thank you so much, matey. Absolutely fantastic. So it was lovely bumping some people. I bumped into Virtua Father. I bumped into a mate of Pixel Paul's called Carl, who is going for the full Xbox 360 collection. Lovely, lovely guy. I think he's starting his own YouTube channel soon. So as soon as he is, he's going to get shout-outs off me. Genuinely lovely guy. Bumped into so many people there. Obviously, I was there with Paul, 8-Bit, and Dodgy D-Pad. But there were so many people there that the names came and went. They were absolutely blooming awesome people. One guy is going to get a shout out in particular because I'm not going to go into his story, but his stall was different than the other stalls. There was no shop. It was just a guy, and I'll go into that in a minute. But anyway, back to Dodgy D-Pad. He also gave me some bits. So he gave me the magnifying glass thingy for my Game Boy, which I'm quite chuffed with, and it does work. It's got, ooh, look at that. Ooh. So yeah, it does work. He gave me that for free, so thank you, matey. That's lovely. That's going to go straight into my collection. But also, holding together a load of copied Dreamcast games. So he gave me this wonderful hairband, which is fantastic. That's going to keep all of my hair tidy. Thank you so much, Dodgy. Thank you so much for not being a dodgy fella and not giving me copied games. Thank you for giving me this wonderful hairband, which I will cherish, and definitely... Definitely that's what he gave me, was the hairband. Thank you, Dodgy D-Pad. Thank you, mate. So, I love hairbands. But anyway, we'll go on to everything else. We've got a few stories about how they came about as well. So this is about market value. I was after this game. This was on my little list of things that I was looking for. Again, it's one of the other PSP games that I need. Pursuit Force Extreme Justice for £3. That is about the going rate. It's in good condition. So yeah, it's just to get that. Why am I like this? Because I was also after the first Pursuit Force, which is, again, £3, possibly a £2 game. It's really not that hard to get hold of. There was blooming loads of copies there. Loads of them. The cheapest one was £8, and it's like, what are you doing? Nobody's paying that for Pursuit Force. You're absolute idiots. One of them had 2 copies, and it was, again, like £8 per copy, and you're going, where are you getting your prices from? Because that, I think in CEX, I think it's £2 for the first Pursuit Force. Again, I think £3 is the right price for that, so chuffed to get that. All the other ones in the bin. This Fallout 02 Battle Lines, I think that was up for £4. I haggled the chap down to £3, and I hate haggling. If you take £3, just put it out for £3. If someone haggles you, tell them to get lost. Just what? And like it wasn't as if I went, "Will you take £3?" And he's like, I was like, "Excuse me, mate. Would you take £3 for that?" And he went, "Yep." It's like, it wasn't even like near the end of the market. So it's like, what? My God. But anyway, yeah, I got Fallout 02 on the PS3 for £3, which really happy with, to be fair. There was one stall where it said 50% off all marked prices. And I was like, wow, that sounds cool. And what he'd done was taken roughly the CEX price and doubled it. So I did manage to get a couple of bargains. Where that was a weird one. Bargains where they were meant to be £6 each. So that's £3 an item. The first one is about right. It was the Surge, so marked up as £6. Got it for £3. I've got the Surge 2, never played it. I just thought, if I do like it, at least I've got that one now for £3. And there was this one. It's like, oh, fantastic. Yeah, I'll take that for £3. Turns out there's no manual in it. Star Wars Lethal Alliance on the PSP. So, great. I'm happy to pick it up for £3. But I'd have liked it if I'd have known it had no manual in it. Next up, we are getting to... what were they called now? Was it... Hang on, I've got the card here. Pixel Addict Magazine, the stall was called. These are the people that had the PSVR 2. So I sort of wish I'd done a bit of haggling on it, because I do really want one, but I just know the prices are going to plummet, and I thought £200 is too much of a risk for a market. But me being a tight Shropshire git, they had, I think it was £2 a game or 3 for a £5 in these buckets, and it was just full of, and I'll happily admit it, it was full of low-end tap. So again, to me, why are the other stalls doing it? Why are they putting them all out on show and pricing them up silly when you've got people like this that just literally fill buckets with them and go, help yourselves. If you can find 3 games that you want for a £5, fill your boots. I managed to find 6, and yes, two of them I got simply to make up the money, and I thought I might be able to shift these on Vinted for a reasonable amount. Might be able to get me £1.66 back. But we'll start off with one that I never played when it first came out, and I know there's a film out about him at the moment, and I was like, well, I'll give it a go, and if I don't like it, I'll try and ship it on. Prince Nazim Boxing. Ooh, let's move over here. Prince Nazim Boxing on the PS1. So, yes, the case is all smashed. I can get new cases, I don't care. But it does come with a manual, it does come with a disc. It's all fairly decent. So that for £1.66.6 recurring. I was like, do you know what? You're not going to get many PS1 games for that. So, chuffed with that. Next one is Fallout 4. More said about that, the better. Well, less said about that, the better. And this one is yet another one to possibly just try and hold on to or get rid of ASAP. Little Big Planet on the PS3. Yeah, whatever. So that was my first £5 spent there. And I was like, oh, they've got another bucket there. That it was hidden behind people that were crowding the blooming stall. And I think I've done well with these 3. So we've got... Now, I know this is only like a £3 game on its own, but I like it. And I quite like the fact that I've now got a copy of it. Valkyria Chronicles, which is sort of like what do you call it? A strategy game, I suppose. It's not really an RPG. It's like a strategy. I don't know. It's not steampunk. It's like a sort of war game in a way. But yeah, really, really like that. Made by Sega. Lovely game. I think it might be. Is it a PS3 exclusive? I don't know. Anyway, pick that up. So to me, £1.66 for that. It's good. Next one. Definitely worth £1.66 for this, and it's only when I got home and I went to put it in, well, went to make a space for it in my collection. I was like, I've bought this already, but still, £1.66, easily worth it. Ghost Hunter on the PS2, yeah, again, complete, working, very, very happy with that. Chuffed, £1.66 on that one, and it's not a, well, to me it's still a scary game, but kids can play it, so 12-year-olds, but that's about as spooky as I get, really. And then this, for £1.66, a game that I have been after for my collection. And here it is. X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse on the PS2. Just to show you, that is complete. And other than the blooming sticker on the manual, and that's not their fault, there's game in it, I think. That is in really good condition. Like, look at that disc. That, oh, hey, up there's Virtua Father, I think. Can you see him? Oh, there he is, Virtua Father on the TV. So that, really, really chuffed to pick up for £1.66. Again, that's one of my bargains of the gaming market. But we'll move on to the last thing, which I'm going to give his name out. Paul Monaghan, who again is from Pixel Addict magazine, but he got a separate stall because he'd had some very, very, you could call it bad. I've been through it. I tried to give him some positive words because it's not the end, you know. Life keeps going. So I tried to be positive to him, but he's had some very bad news, and he'd ended up having to basically get rid of his collection, just like trim it right down. Funds were tight, and people were trying to haggle down his already low prices. I didn't, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't want either of these. I didn't want either of them. But I heard his story, I walked away. It weighed heavy on my mind. It reminded me of my time not so long ago, only like a decade ago, but it's still ringing around inside my head. I was like, I can't walk out of here without helping this chap get back on his feet again. So I bought a couple of games off him. We'll start with the first one, which is again, I think this is still cheaper than blooming CEX, but I didn't particularly want it. I will play it. It might be fun, it might not. Alright, Dragon Quest 9. I'm going to have to hold that because I can't read it. It's very small writing. Echoes of an Elusive Age. So for £7, thank you, Patrick. I probably won't play it, but I'm hoping that £7 will go towards helping you. That's not very good. Has he left me? He's left a receipt in it. that says that he bought it from cash converters earlier on for £4. I'm not going to show you the receipt, but it is in there. He's bought that for £4 and flipped it me for £7. I'm such a mug. Blooming hell, Patrick. I genuinely never looked at that. It's the first time I've looked at it because I was like, I don't care. I'm never going to play it. Ah, well, never mind. I'm still helping him get back on his feet. And then there was this one which I did have a look at because I have been interested in buying this. Because it's from, I think, Bitmap Brothers, is it? Does it say that? Yeah, Bitmap Brothers for the Sega Mega Drive. I like me shooting games anyway, so Xenon 2, Mega Blast, that's it. Xenon 2 Mega Blast on the Sega Mega Drive. Yeah, chuffed to get that one. It says £15. You might go, wow, that's an absolute bargain, Donald. But, and I will say, well, I said to him, like, oh my God, the cartridge is destroyed. And he went like, yeah, that's why it's £15. So, manual, good condition. But as you can see, that cartridge there, it's had a sticker on it. And then trying to get it off, it's completely savaged the front of it. Oh my God. So I could do one of two things. I could either leave it like that, leave it in my collection, just go, ah, well, I could colour it in and have a laugh. I could print out a new one, a fake one, and pop it on there, but then people would think it was a fake cartridge. Or I can just keep my eyes open for a loose cartridge and then sell this one on for a couple of quid, which is probably what I'm going to do, because I still think £15 for a working version of that is really, really good. And again, despite what I said about the previous game, why do I keep saying Patrick? It's Paul. I was thinking Patrick Monaghan, who I'm sure is a comedian. Paul Monaghan, who is, again, I will show it, from Pixel Addict magazine. I'm hoping you get back on your feet, mate. If you want to have a chat, if we want to do a little bit of an interview about either your magazine or just yourself and how you find yourself, your relationship with games and what it feels like. Because again, I've been there. I know what it feels like, mate. How it feels like to have to start again at an advanced age. Yeah, it's tricky, but life gets better, bud. So if you want to have a chat, if you want a bit of an interview, give me a shout. I'm always here. But yeah, lovely meeting you. Overall, I would say, so people who've watched my previous video know that I went into this went into the market extremely stressed. I don't like new situations. I don't like crowds of people. I knew it was going to be a rip-off, which the vast majority of stores were. I'll be honest with you, out of the, I say, half of the stalls that actually sold blooming games, out of those stalls, I would say the vast majority were massively overpriced or just selling crud. There was a few that I went to and I was like, these are reasonable prices. I'll quite happily pay them. There's one where you've seen that I've been stung on an item where it was meant to be complete in box and it was missing a manual. One where they said it was very good condition. And on the front, it literally got like damaged manuals. So there's no way the guy could even go, oh, I didn't know, somebody else packed it. So, still not for me, the markets. But what I did enjoy was the social aspect. I loved bumping into a lot of people that I know via YouTube. Sadly, I missed a few people that I was meant to meet there. There were a few people who said they were coming and just didn't turn up. So that was another one. But yeah, I enjoyed the social aspect of it, and I'm normally not good socially. I'm normally quite a withdrawn person, so that was blooming wonderful. There was a few people who walked past and went, "That's Donald Mackerel," and you get that little big head syndrome. Where you go, like, "Oh my God, that's cool." And then one person sort of went like, "Oh, that's that Donald Mackerel." I was like, "Oh, right, okay." But there was one guy on the stalls who knew who I was, and he was like, "Oh, blooming hell, I love your anti-CEX videos." And I was like, "Yeah, you won't see any more of them. I don't shop there anymore." So there was a few people who knew me, a few people who liked me, a few people who didn't like me. But overall, I had a really, really, really good time. It's expanded my reach as a person into the world of not just YouTube but friendship. So there's a few more people that I'm going to natter to, Carl being one of them, Virtua Father being another. So yeah, overall I would say the market side of it, not a fan, but it's a means to an end because it helped me have a really good time, meeting a lot of lovely people, having more fun in my hobby. and just, I say, having a really, really cool day. I will say, again, if you've already turned off by now, you're about to miss the juiciest bit, which is, by the time I got home, it was 6 o'clock. The missus had gone to work. The house was completely pitch black. I knew that her 18-year-old son was upstairs playing computer games because I could hear it as I got to the front door. So I opened the front door, walked into the house, and instantly I was hit with a waft of dog crap. So what's going on here? And as I went to move my foot, I was like, I can quite clearly feel I've trodden in dog poo here. Turn around, flick the light on. Sure enough, great big pile of dog poo right by the door. So the dogs had already been clambering to get out. Both dogs as well. We've got two of them. We've got a red fox lab, and I've got a little pug. Poo everywhere. Poo all in the hallway. Poo in the front room. Poo all the way up the stairs. When I went upstairs to like chuck some of it in the toilet, poo on the landing. And the house reeked of it. 18-year-old just sat in his room with his headphones on, playing his games. And so I was like, oh, what's going on? And he got up and just shut the door. Lazy, lazy little scrote. So, yeah, I had to clean all that up, sort myself out, tidy the house up because the house was a blooming mess. Nothing had been done while I was away at the gaming markets. That was a nice end to the day. And I went to bed, woke up today, went to work, walking down the Altered Bistro, who I was wearing his t-shirt to the gaming market anyway. So Altered Bistro did a video saying about how he'd hurt his back doing something innocuous. I was literally walking down a road as part of work in my normal footwear, and I snapped a toe. How'd you do that? Just walking, I just felt a sudden jolt of pain. I went, ah! Took my boot off, and my toe was completely the wrong way. It was purple, the nail was hanging off. I was like, oh my god, what have I done here? I might even put a picture of it up. Excuse my feet, they look like Hobbit's feet. So I was like on the phone to my boss going, I don't think I can drive. Like, I can barely walk. I don't think I can drive. And he was like, I'm sure you'll be okay. So I had to work the rest of the day with a snapped toe, hobbling around. I finally get home. I talked to the missus about the state of the house last night, saying, look, this isn't on, you know. You can't just leave stuff like that. And I know it wasn't you. I know it's him upstairs. But you need to have a word. And to be honest with you, your cleanliness needs to get a bit better. I'm fed up of having to come home after a day out and pick stuff up and tidy up after you. It's not cool. And she goes, yeah, I understand. That's fine. I was like, right, I'm going to run myself a bath. And I'm going to just chill out in the bath. I'm going to have a good time. So I'm going to get myself a cup of tea, get in the bath, and just relax. And she was like, yeah, I understand. Ran myself a nice bath, put my cup of tea down, relaxed into it. And I grabbed a bottle of shampoo, which I didn't realise she'd set up in some sort of Jenga screwball scramble situation where that was the only thing holding about 2 tons of her crap against a wall. It all fell on me, including knives. So the bath was full of wax melts and, I say, knives, cutlery. I think she was eating sausages in the bath. What was going on there? Yeah, it all fell into the bath. I had a really, really stressful day. And you know what? I'm still smiling because in my head, yeah, I can look back at that and laugh. But I've had such a blooming wonderful day nattering some lovely people. So thank you all out there. You know how tricky it is for me to get out and socialise. You've made it all worthwhile. I really did have a good time. I'm hoping we can all meet up again and do more stuff, whether that's gaming related or just meeting up for a laugh and going out for a meal and having a drink. You're all wonderful. To anybody who's watched this video, hope you've had a good time too. If you've enjoyed the Bolton gaming market, fair play to you. If you thought it was pants, join the club. Anyway, I've had a good time. It's been Donald Mackerel from Donald Mackerel Gaming. This is a bloody long video, but I don't care. Nobody's going to watch it. See you all again soon. Cheers, everybody. Blooming heck. Hey.